Joy channel. Today I want to discuss a hidden dynamic that can cause us a lot of emotional pain, and I call it the hidden rejection game. So rejection can seem strange. I remember when I was young, I felt very confused about the rejection I experienced from those around me. It didn't make sense. What was wrong with playing with the girl next door or wanting to read or do other activities? It's natural for us to want to connect, explore, and grow. When we're young, those natural inclinations can be treated as threatening by our caretakers if they are a step towards people and ideas that are not accepted. When we're young, curious, and growing, we're actually doing what we're supposed to be doing. So when we get feedback that suggests we're doing something wrong, it can feel very strange and confusing. The thing is, we're usually not doing anything wrong. What we're doing is being ourselves in a world that wants us to be someone else. The wrong is often not in us. And this is not to say that we don't make mistakes. We all do, because this is how we learn. But the fault finding I'm referring to is not about how we did a certain task, like making our bed or tying our shoes. I'm talking about how our very nature is made wrong. Our curiosity, our wonder, and our creativity are treated as an affront or threat to others, and that's wrong. Loyalty is a beautiful thing, but it can be a mixed blessing. We need the loyalty of each of us to have a functioning society. We need the loyalty of others to support us when we're young and at other times when we require support. However, it matters greatly what we are asked or even required to be loyal to. What we are loyal to makes a big difference in the quality of our lives. It's not just our relationships that are affected by our loyalty. If we're loyal to the reality of how we feel, we sleep when we're tired and we eat when we're hungry. We need the ability to be loyal to the reality of our experience and the world around us. When we're unable to do that, which is common because we have lost the connection to our bodies and our minds are much more connected to social structures and social competition than our living reality, then we're really unable to steer ourselves in a direction that is constructive. How can we be truly responsible if we disconnected from ourselves and from reality? And what does responsibility even mean when that's the case? We've made it a condition of belonging that we are loyal to our social group. And this is not intrinsically a problem if we're also loyal to a positive objective like quality of life, if we're tuned into reality and working together to make life work for all of us. However, if the objectives are divorced from reality and serve some but not the common good, then loyalty becomes an issue. It is so important, and frankly, even imperative, that when we create social systems, we create something good to be a part of, not something destructive. When we experience rejection, sometimes it's based on something remiss in what we've done, but too often it occurs because we don't conform to some kind of social norm. However, we rarely get a direct and honest explanation for our rejection. When we're not conforming, many will feel threatened because the security of the social group, large or small, town or nation, is based on conforming to a certain way of living or set of accepted beliefs. Each culture is like an enterprise, with everyone working for a particular objective, and different cultures have different objectives. So an order culture, for instance, will have as its objective, of course, order, law and order, and certain beliefs, practices, rules, and roles that make that happen. And when someone steps outside of that particular system and the accepted behaviors or beliefs of that system, individuals in the system may feel threatened. It takes a lot of people to maintain a system. That's how we create reality, by all going in the same direction. And all conformity is not necessarily bad or unhealthy, but conformity and cooperation can be seen as the same thing when they're not. Conformity is to a set of cultural norms or standards, whereas cooperation, which is more valuable, is a much more open and flexible approach to getting along with others and dealing with reality. Loyalty can become transactional between members of a group and their leadership. So in some ways, it is a two-way street, with membership and support being assured for going along. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way. People don't always keep their agreements, and we often become dependent on cultural customs for our feeling of belonging. This is not a criticism, but it is an observation. We need to be aware that all of the comforts that create connection can also make us dependent and even, unfortunately, complacent. Now, you would think that all we have to do is get together and have conversations about reality, and of course, that's an option. However, there is an additional wrinkle to this: hierarchy. Hierarchies act like cultural marketing systems, which promote certain attributes over others. So, in a capitalistic culture like our current one, successful entrepreneurs have greater cultural status than those perhaps living off the grid. And that's not a criticism, it's just a different way of living. And that's because the entrepreneurs, they advance the goals of the culture. So when we get rejection, what is being rejected is our real and true nature most of the time. And we're being invited instead to become what our culture wants, even if it's not right for us. Because hierarchies reward people differently according to their standing within the cultural system, there can be serious and real consequences for not fitting in and promoting the agenda of the system. If the system is destructive and we're uncomfortable or repelled by its agenda, that can be a serious problem for us. So often we make ourselves the problem in a difficult situation in order to survive. What is forgotten too often is the culture has an obligation to its people, past, present, and future. Hierarchies tend to forget or ignore that obligation. And when they do, they forget that there is a reality that will not be ignored. And our natural world is telling us right now, as ecological systems collapse, that a hierarchy or a cultural system cannot ignore reality. So there needs to be a connection between reality, culture, and social norms. And when there is, life works nicely because we're all not fighting reality or each other. It sounds almost like an impossible dream, but it's not. It simply requires that we do some rearranging of the cultural world so it's more aligned with reality and nature. And when we do that, we will all benefit, and we will also have a more peaceful world. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed learning more about how joy can transform your life. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and loved ones. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos on the transformative power of joy. I'll be back soon to give you more information on how joy as a practice and compass can transform your life. Stay well and joyful until then, and thank you for watching.